Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim and we are playing Silent War 2.0 with the IJN expansion, campaign number 3, Turning the Tide. We're just getting ready to start week 1 of August 1943. And before we get going here, just a couple of minor corrections from the last episode. I did discover that yes, in fact, Sea Dragon was supposed to have an RTB marker. They had not found any contacts during the patrol phase last turn and then failed their endurance check. And I just forgot to put an RTB marker on them when I moved them down. Also, there was some confusion here in this big stack when I was going through and looking for things. One of the spotted markers got moved off of the snapper and onto the whale. So it was actually the snapper that had that spotted marker, not the whale, but it ended up getting removed anyway, so didn't really matter. All right, a few things in preparation for this turn. Since we're starting a new month, we do have one new destroyer that's coming into the mix for the IJN pieces. The DD Wakasuki, 3,000 ton destroyer with 7 defense and 2 ASW. So we'll go ahead and add him to the bowl. And then we had several that came out of the mix. One auxiliary ship, the Nishin, light cruiser, the Jinsu, and then a whole bunch of destroyers. I'm not going to go through and name them all, but one of them that was supposed to come out was one that we'd actually already sunk, so those are all out of the mix now. And these are our subs that we're getting as reinforcements this turn, so we'll get to bring them in here shortly. And if you remember as well, we've got the Wahoo with Morton coming back this month. So a few more new toys to play with. I did update my subs with radar list to reflect the new ones that are coming in this month, and also took off a couple that had gotten sunk in the last month. So we're all up to date with that. So let's get going here. We've got our war event phase. See if we get anything again this month. Last week we had to send off a few subs for training duty, and no event this week though. Got a 7. All right, there's no torpedo improvement yet. We're still quite a ways from our next checkpoint, which is 450 ships. So we'll move on to our ultra roll. A 6. Find the chart here. 6 for War Period 3 is going to be the Marianas and the South Philippine Sea. We'll get those marked. Again, 2 that are adjacent to each other. So we'll have to see how we want to distribute those that can reach those 2 areas this turn. All right, then we've got our weather roll, and we are now into August. So a little bit better chance of getting some weather formation. So a 2 or less is now going to give us a tropical storm. And did not get it. So again, clear weather across the Pacific. All right, time for our reinforcement phase. So we'll consult our master reinforcement list. There are 2, I think there's 2 that are due to return. or to be withdrawn, I mean. But one of them was actually sunk before the scenario started. All right, so we've got the billfish, the bowfin, and the puffer. They're all coming out in Fremantle. There's the bowfin, billfish, and the puffer. So these three will all get added to the broom box at Fremantle. And they are 2 Blau and a Gato. Getting a few more heavy hitters in here. And then these other two, the Pargo and the Seahorse, which is 1 Blau and 1 Gato, will be coming in at Pearl Harbor, which is pretty empty at the moment. All right, withdrawing, we've got the Thresher and the Triton. The Triton was one of those that was already sunk before we started the scenario. So we just have the Thresher. They are currently right here patrolling in the South China Sea 1. So since they're on their patrol side, they do get one last week to patrol. But then after that, we'll skip their endurance check and they'll be forced to involuntarily RTB and start making their way back to Pearl Harbor to then be sent to the West Coast for refit. And then we've got the Wahoo, as I said, is coming back. So we'll get our other super skipper that we started the scenario with back in action here. And they'll come back in at the broom box of Pearl Harbor. Let's go ahead and slide these other ones up. I did want to double check. I'm pretty sure all the ones that were supposed to return last month did make it back. Or did I mess that up? Should be the Kingfish, the Swordfish, and the Haddock. Should all have been returned last month. Or not those. That's return. I'm talking, getting messed up here. Withdrawn. So it was the Tautog and the Gunnel that were withdrawn last month. And yeah, we did get them both back before the end of the month. So they're in there ready to come out at a future date. Okay, I think that does it for the reinforcement phase. Next will be the ready submarines phase. So we've got a few here. A couple ship side there at the Fulton that go ready for sea. We've got 2 here at Fremantle, pier side that go ready for sea, and 1 at Dutch Harbor. All right, then we got several to roll for here in various broom boxes. So let's get going with that. Just put this right up against there like that. Okay, so starting at the, we'll start up here at the Fulton. So we've got the Pickerel, needs a 4 or less. Did not get it. The Seawolf needs a 4 or less. Did. The S44 needs a 4 or less. Nope. And the Sailfish needs a 4 or less. Got it. So we'll just have 2 that are staying behind here, so we'll have room for 5 more to come in. And then for the Sperry, we've got the Porpoise, needs a 4 or less. Got it. The Lapon needs a 5 or less. Got it. And the Drum needs a 5 or less. Got it. Nice. So they'll be completely empty once we move those 3 out. They can take 7 back in if we need them. All right. Next, let's go to Pearl Harbor. We've got 3 that need to come out here. So we've got the Wahoo with Super Skipper Morton. Needs a 5 or less. Nope, I'll have to wait another week. The Pargo needs a 5 or less. No. And the Seahorse needs a 5 or less. Okay, we've got at least one of them out. Seahorse coming out now. Pargo and Wahoo, I have to wait until next week. All right, we got a pretty good pile here at Fremantle. So the Billfish needs a 5 or less. No. The Bowfin, 5 or less. No. So get those new Balaus out there. The Puffer needed a 5 or less. He didn't make it either. And the Pompon, yes, 5 or less for him. And the Grayling needs a 5 or less. Got it. Okay. A couple of our older ones made it out. None of the new ones did. At Fremantle anyway. Whoops, that's Brisbane. We're supposed to be up here. Okay. And then last but not least, or maybe least, the S32 at Dutch Harbor needs a 3 or less. Got it. Okay, for repairs, we'll just start up here and work our way back down. So the, what was this one? S33 needs a 5 or less to move out. Got it. Is that the Sargo? Yep, Sargo needs a 7 or less. No, did not get it. And then the Sowry needs a 5 or less. Okay, they advance to repair box 1. And then we've got the Runner needs a 6 or less. Got it. So they advance to repair box 1. All right, that's it for readies and repairs. So prep for operations. Move everybody up. It's going to get pretty crowded out here this week. Almost forgot Empire Pacific. There we go. That's everybody. All right, so then we can begin our operations segment. so I think for starters, remember we had those 3 subs last week that we pulled for training duty. We took all of them from the Aleutians campaign. So we had 3 others that we had to designate to take their place, and they were making their way up there. I marked them all with double RTB markers so that we'd remember that's what they were. So it's these 2 here, and then this one. Let's go ahead and get them either in or closer at least for that. So here we've got the S-42. It's going to move through the Aleutian Islands into Dutch Harbor. No transit event check needed, but even though they're excuse me, undamaged, remember when we enter Dutch Harbor we have to do a damage roll, and anything other than superficial will go in repair box 1. And that's not superficial. So repair box 1 for them. And then the what was this? The S-46. Also move up there. Again, no transit event check needed. But they are damaged, so they'll just do a regular damage roll. See where they end up. 3 is going to be light damage. They also go to repair box 1. And then the S-31 isn't going to be able to quite make it yet, but they'll get up here to the Aleutian Islands. No transit event check needed. So again, they will move down to here. And I think now that they're there, I don't think we need this reminder anymore. We know that nobody would be there unless they were operating out of Dutch Harbor. So we'll move them in next week. And that's our 8. 1, 2, you can't see those, but we got 2 over there in the Coral Islands. This one makes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we got our 8 subs there. Again, operating out of Dutch Harbor. All right, so that's taken care of. Let's see, I think next we'll do these ones that were unable to dock at the submarine tenders because their damage was too severe. We'll go ahead and get them back into Pearl Harbor. So the Tullabee move through the Hawaiian Islands down to Pearl. No transit event check needed. We'll roll for their damage. And it's a 6, so that's moderate damage. They'll come into repair box 2. All right, same thing for the S-47 through the Hawaiian Islands to Pearl Harbor. Damage roll for them. 0, superficial. Nice. I got better on the way there. They can go into the broom box. All right, we got those 2 there that are outbound from Pearl Harbor. We were planning on moving them up into the East China Sea. But meanwhile, let's figure out our submarine tender situation here. So the Sperry currently only has 3 there. And those 3 are coming out. So they can take 4 immediately. Definitely The ones coming back from the Sea of Japan, we want to try to get into there. So we got the Tenosa, moves through the Coral Islands to the North Pacific. They're on transit side, so that's a -1 DRM, but then they get +2 for moving out from the Sea of Japan, and they left an area that had 5 subs in it. So they also get a +1 for congregating risk. So it's going to be a net +2 with this being the governing op area. So 7 or higher is what we want to avoid. Ooh, I got a 7. So we'll roll again. And 4 and 2 is going to be fine. 4, 2, no event. So they make it in. Get to lose their spotted marker. They go into the broom box over here. All right, and then same for the sunfish, except now there's no congregating risk, so they'll only have a +1 to their transit event check. It's only an 8 or 9. They're good. They'll likewise come into the broom box at the Sperry. All right. Let's see, we've got a whole bunch over here in the East China Sea that can make it back to the Fulton. Although, 2, 3, okay, we've only got 3 there right now. All 3 of these need to go somewhere as well. They can reach the Sperry, whereas the ones in the East China Sea cannot. We also have some in the South Philippine Sea that can reach the Fulton, but not the Sperry. So we'll try to leave as much room there for those guys as possible. So let's see who we have here. Looks like there's 3 that need to come back. Maybe more, because we got a couple damaged ones. We'll decide if we want to risk having them patrol again. So yeah, let's get all 3 of these in there for sure. I guess we'll start with the flying fish. They will come through the Marianas over to the Marshall Islands. No red box in the Marshall Islands, but there is one in the Marianas, so this will be the governing op area. They're leaving shallow water, so we need to check and see if they have radar. And the flying fish does not have radar. So they get a +1 for shallow waters, +1 for congregating risk. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They were number 7. So they got a total of +2 and then -1 for being on transit side. So they're going to have a net +1 to roll from there. So again, an 8 or 9 is what we don't want to see. Good. Put them at the Fulton. Currently has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that makes 7. So we're going to have to bring some out of there before we can bring any more back. Looks like we're going to be quite... Got all these these two that are coming back. Don't think we're going to have room for everybody. So these can also reach here, Marshall Islands, so we may need to start thinking about prioritizing who goes where. These ones in the South Philippine Sea can actually reach Fremantle, so I think we won't bother with those. So let's see how many more we have. We got 1, 2, 3 there. 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got 7 more to get back. Two of which can only reach the Fulton. To leave room for 2 more other than those. And then we've got 2, we can eventually take 5 more into the Sperry. So I think we're good. We just have to I think we'll go ahead and send these 2. Well, they're damaged, so they may or may not be able to make it in, but we'll go ahead and send the Greenling with their new super skipper back to the Sperry. So only 1 red box, no congregating risk, so they don't need to roll for a transit event check. They go into the broom box there. That puts us at 6. And then we'll see if the Pogey can get in there. Again, no transit event check needed because they're on transit side. So let's see what their damage situation is. 7, so they're not going to be able to go into there. They go down to the done, and that means, let's see, let's get a couple of those out of there now, so we can get 1 more for sure up into the Sea of Japan with no congregating risk. Probably want to send, we've got the Drum, the Lapon, and the Porpoise. Porpoise, I'm not too concerned about where they go. Let's get the Drum up here into the Sea of Japan. So they're going to have a, slide the camera over here. They're going to have a -1 for being on transit side, but +2 for entering the Sea of Japan, so a net +1, and that means a 7 through 9 will trigger a potential transit event. Oh, they're good. They will patrol their next turn, and so that opens up a spot for we got 2 here that are damaged. Oh, but this one, right, this is our early Gato that got damaged, so he has to go back to Pearl Harbor. So let's go ahead and get him on his way. We'll send him over here and down through the down through the transfer route, just to kind of keep him out of everybody's way. And there's, he came from, yeah, these were all here in the Marianas. So he came through here and here, so no red boxes, no transit event check. All right, so that leaves these 2. And and these two over here in the East China Sea, which can only get to the Fulton. Actually, we do have room for 2 more at the Sperry. So let's send let's see if these guys can get in. So they'll be transit side, so only 1 red box in each area they move through, don't need to roll. But let's see what their damage situation is. 9, they can't get in. I guess we might as well send the paddle up there. Again, no transit event needed, and he is undamaged, so he goes right into the broom box. Put him underneath these. So we've now got 6 at the Sperry with 2 coming out. Fulton's currently full, but we got 4 coming out of there. We're going to want to decongregate this area before we start patrolling there again. So I think we're going to need to send somebody out. I'll tell you what, let's do this next before we decide on that. Got some obvious things here to do. With these 2 subs in the South Philippine Sea, they're going to come down to Fremantle. They're going through an area with 1 red box and shallow water. So let's see if they have radar. That's the Sea Dragon. They do, so they won't have to roll. Since the transit event, or the transit side modifier, will make it impossible for them to get a 9. So they go to the broom box. And likewise, the Seal, they have radar as well, so they won't need to roll. And they can go to the broom box. Actually, we got another one here. The Tarpon, they also have radar. So no roll required for them. Broom box. All right, and then we've got these guys in South China Sea 1 that will come down to the Java Sea. So 1 red box here that they moved through. The permit does have radar, so shallow water is not a factor. So again, no roll needed. But they don't quite make it back, so they will be there. And then we got to decide, why do we have a damaged marker all by itself under here? Someone else was damaged in this stack. I'm going to go back and, well, before I do that, let's take care of, let's go up here in the Aleutians. We're in the Kuril Islands, going back to Dutch Harbor, no transit event check needed. Roll to see if he has anything more than superficial damage. Nope, superficial, so he can go into the broom box. All right, so I'm gonna pause the video here and go back and review the previous turn, figure out who this other damage marker is supposed to belong to, and verify that this actually does belong to the trout. So I'll be back after that. All right, mystery solved. That other damage marker belongs to the thresher. Must have got, when I was bringing him up to the top to remind myself that he needed to come back this week, I must have left his damage marker behind. All right, so we got the trout and the thresher both damaged. We need to decide if we want them to try patrolling another week or just send them home. I think since the thresher's being recalled anyway, we'll see if we can get one more patrol out of him before he has to be gone for a while. So, search and contact. I believe damage affects that at all. Let me just confirm that. Yeah, there's no modifier for being damaged. All right, so search and contact for the thresher. 6 and 7. 6 is going to be low density. 7 is a large convoy. So we're looking at 2, 2, 1, and 1. All right, when I started setting this up, I realized I forgot that we were supposed to redo the War Mix cups before this month, because it's been 2 months now since we've done that. So I went ahead and took care of that. And in the process of doing that, I realized a mistake I made last turn. When we sunk that hospital ship, we should have immediately replaced them in whichever cup they came from with another 6,000 ton or higher merchant type ship. So we went a little ways last turn with one fewer large merchant in that cup than we should have had, but we got that straightened out now as well. So I'll make a note of that in the comments for the last video. All right, but anyway, this is what the thresher found. Not too happy with it. This one's evading. And this one zigged away. So this particularly bothers me over here. So I think what we're going to do is set up in column C. We're definitely going to go cautious since we're damaged. Won't reduce the number of things we have to flip, but at least if we do get counterattacked, we'll have a little bit of mitigation there. No radar, but we've only got 2 potential targets here anyway, so flip them both. All right, good deal. That's what I was hoping. So our light cruiser over there in column D is the Agano, 7,000 ton merchant. Nice. Glad that's in the mix now. Hopefully we didn't get that other hospital ship back this time. I noticed it was in there. We actually had both of them in there last turn, or the last 2 months. I think in the same cup too. I think they were both in cup B. All right, so let's get our TDC markers. for something good. Ooh, yeah, -3, nice. All right, so we are at 6. We don't lose anything for being damaged. Then -2 for their defense puts us at 4. -1 for going over a column puts us at 3. Add 3 back in. 6 or less to hit that 7,000 ton merchant. Let's go. Oh, missed it by 1. 3, I think, would have only damaged it. Yep. That still would have been helpful. All right, I think we stay in this column. Let's go back to standard, or go up to standard, so that in the off chance we get 2 really nice TDCs here, we might try a split shot. Probably not. So they're each -1. I think we go after this one. That one's not that much more tonnage, and it's going to be a more difficult shot to hit. So this is a -1 now. So we're at 6. -2 is 4. -1 for going over a column is 3. Then the -1 adds 1 back. So this time we need a 4 or less to hit it. Okay, we got it, but we only damaged it. 3 on the 5 to 9 is just a damage. That's too bad. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the thresher is scheduled to be withdrawn this week, or this month. So we do not get to do an endurance check. We have to RTB involuntarily, which means we don't get to start moving until next turn. We'll go back here. And you know what? I'm thinking let's try the same thing with the trout. Hopefully we get something relatively safe for him as well. 7 and 9. Well, that's going to be a task force. 7 is going to be low density. Low density task force is 1, 2, 2, 3. All right. Unfortunately, the trout does not have radar either. So we want to be as cautious as possible with them as well. I think we're going to go in column B and go cautious, obviously. So we'll just flip over these 3 red balls and hope they're all something non-aggressive. Nope. Nope. Oh boy. Well, since we're cautious, we get to attempt to remove their diligent status and reduce their total ASW. Oh good, it's only a 1. No kaze, so that puts them at a 4. So we need to roll higher than a 4 to have them just become a 3 and not diligent. We did not. So they get to make their diligent escort special attack. An 8, oh my. Yep. That is damaged RTB. So we have received a second damage marker. I think that's the first time that's happened in this scenario. We had it happen once or twice in the last scenario, I believe. Let me refresh my memory here on what we need to do. There's a high probability that we are going to be sunk. I know that. All right, so roll a die. If it's greater than the defense rating of the submarine, it is sunk. If not, it gets a second damage marker, and then when we make it back to base, we'll have to roll twice on the damage table. And if the sum of the boxes that result from that is greater than 3, we will be a constructive total loss. Let's first see if we even manage to avoid being sunk. So we need to roll a 3 or less. Oh, you know what? I'm back to forgetting to do this again. We were supposed to roll to see if we were successfully able to crash dive. I don't think I did that at all, at least the last 2 or 3 weeks. So apologies for that. So let's do that first, because if so, then that just becomes a spotted result. No, we did not. All right, so now we need to roll a 3 or less, or else we are sunk. And we are sunk. So the trout got a little too aggressive there. Should have played it safe and just made their way back to port. Let me record that. Trout sunk. We go over with our sunk submarine stack, and we increase our subs lost by 1, and we're at 28 now. All right, well, let's finish out here with the grouper. Again, they're an early Gatto, so if they get damaged as a result of this, they're also going to have to return to Pearl Harbor. Let's see what we get. Search and contact first. 4 and 7. It's going to be a sparse, large convoy. 1, 2, 1, 1. All right, no radar for the grouper. Tactical rating of 4. This one is not possible. Zigged away. Boy. So I think I like my chances over here in column D. Let's go ahead and go aggressive. Carrier, nice. And a cruiser, all right. So cruiser first. It is the Tone. Oh, aircraft capable. All right, let's hope they don't get a lucky shot on their counterattack like we've had a couple of times when they've only had half ASW on the counterattack and they still managed to damage us. Came from Cup D, and then we got a carrier over here. And it is the Ruho, sorry. Also aircraft capable. All right. Get these guys sunk. All right, that's good. That's a -4 since we're aggressive. So we've got 6 minus 5 is 1. Then we add back in 4. Makes it 5 to hit. Our die roll modifier will hit on a 6 or less. All right. Counter attack will be 1 for their ASW. They each have a half. Plus 1 red box makes 2. 3 for the war period makes 5. We're not in shallow water, so we subtract our full defensive 4. Puts them on the 1 to 2 row with a plus 1 because we're aggressive. 6 should be nothing. All right, we will stay where we are. We will remain aggressive and hope we get at least one good TEC again. Okay, that's good. That's a -4 and that's a -3. I say we go after the carrier. So, versus split shot is always possible too. Let's see what they work out to be. So 6 minus 3 is 3. We lose 1 for going over a column, so that's 2. But then we add 4 back in, so that's a 2-hit number of 6. And with our DRM, we'll hit on a 7 or less. This is 6 minus 5 is 1, plus 3 makes 4, which means we would hit on a 5 or less. So if we split it, we could go, there are 2 apart, so if we went more at this one, if we went 4 at this one and 2 at this one, it would reduce this one by 2, and it would reduce this one by 4. So then we're looking at needing a 3 or less for each. Yeah, let's try it. That's kind of my threshold for whether a split shot is tenable or not. All right, so we'll try the carrier first, 3 or less. And then the cruiser. Come on. We got neither. They get another counter attack. It will again be on the 1 to 2 row, but this time they get a +2. And that's nothing. 1 to 2, 3, nothing. All right, A rating. We went aggressive, so we need a 5 or less. Got it. Let's put him underneath these 2. That 1, that's right, the other one got sunk. All right. I think what I want to do next is get some of these out from the East China Sea and up into the Yellow Sea. So we can clear up some of that congestion there. So that will be our next move. All right, I think we'll go ahead and take care of the albacore who's already there. So search and contact roll for them. 4 and 3. It's going to be low density. 3 is a small convoy. So 2, 2, and 1. Okay, this one is too close. No radar for the albacore. spotted. Tempted to go aggressive right off the rip here, but my concern is if one or both of those are diligent escorts. I guess both wouldn't matter unless we got that deadly escort event. But yeah, I think we'll just go standard for the time being. That'll give us the option to go aggressive in the re-attack round if we want to. So we'll flip all 4 of these. Good. And good. And good. All right. Excellent. Let's get our light cruiser first. And then we'll need a couple of auxiliaries. The Abu Kuma. And for column A, we have the Kinagawa. And the Sanuki Maru. Oops, not that one, this one. All right, free reign here. Focus a little better. All right. Give us some nice options here. There is actually possibility for a super skipper here if we get super lucky. Got enough tonnage between 3 ships to do that a couple different ways. Zero, -2, like that, +1, +2. All right, well, it looks like probably just gonna go after this one, but let's see. So that one becomes a 1 against our 7, so that would be a 6 or less to hit there. I think our next best shot is going to be the merchant. So there are 3 against our 7 makes a 4. So we could, if we went, those are 2 apart. We need to go like 4-3 or 5-2, probably 4-3. If we went 4 against this, that would be 3 less. That would drop it to a 1. And then 4 against this would be 3 less. I would drop that to a 3. Don't really like that much. That doesn't seem right either. Why are they still 2 apart? This was a 4, right? So if we did 4 against this one, it would be 4 minus 3 as 1, and then 3 minus 1 would be 2. That would be a 2 and a 1. Yeah, that's right. And I don't really like that. It's too much. I think we'll save our split shot for the re-attack round when we can go aggressive. All right, so we need a 6 or less to hit the Sanuki Maru. And we got it, but no damage. All right, re-attack, we'll switch to aggressive. All right, give us a couple of big negatives here. There's one. That's not too bad. I think this, let's see, that's going to be both 3s, but he's over column. Yeah, so this is actually going to be an easier shot, and it's more tonnage. So I think if we do a split shot, it'll be between these two. Let's see what we've got. This becomes a -4. Excuse me. So 7 minus 2 is 5. Minus 4 brings it up to a 9. So that's a guaranteed hit. That's not even taking into account our die roll modifier. And then this one would be 7 minus, this is going to be a -2, so he's a 1. So this would be a 6 to hit. So I think we go 3 apart. So we'd want to go like split it 5 and 2. So if we send 5 here, that brings that down to a 4. If we send 2 here, which is 5 less, that brings that down to a 4. And with our die roll modifier, they would each be 5 or less. So let's try the, let's try the little one first. The 5 or less for the merchant. Nope. And then 5 or less for the auxiliary. Come on. Wow. That's some terrible rolling there, ladies and gentlemen. And after that perfect setup, come away empty-handed. 6 or less for our, no, 5 or less because we went aggressive. Endurance check, at least we made that. We get to stay up there. Once we get all the way up here into the yellow sea, we want to try to stay there as long as possible. All right, so let's move some of these guys into there. I don't think we want to do it with the damaged ones though. We got 2 here that are damaged, huh? All right, so let's move the, let's take the sawfish in there. I'll just set these next to them for now. All right, so the sawfish is going to need to do a transit check. They've got +1 for entering the yellow sea, so an 8 or 9. 9. Oh, and it's shallow also. Let's see, do they have radar? Sawfish. Sawfish does have radar. All right, so no pluses for this roll. Ooh, that's going to be super bad. An 8 and then a 9 is lost at sea, cause unknown. Okay. Sawfish is lost. Well, so far this week we've lost 2 subs and haven't sunk anything. Not off to a very good start. That puts us at 29 subs lost. Okay. Do we want the snapper up there? He's only a 5. Don't want to send these damaged ones in there, I don't think, though. I think we're gonna just let them skip search and contact and go home. Yeah, I think we'll leave them to just patrol where they're at. So let's figure out what to do with this mess here. We got 2 that are RTBing, and a new S1 and a new S2. And then we got these 2 Gattos that are damaged. I'd like to try to get them into the Fulton if we can for a quick turnaround. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got 4 coming out of the Fulton. Need to decide where we want them to go. None of them are that great either. It's 3 new S2s and a P3. The new S2s are pretty decent. I guess we send them up into the East China Sea. So let's start doing some 1-for-1 shuffling here. So we'll send the sailfish over there. They are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They make 6. So they're going to have a +1 from congregating risk, then -1 for being on transit side. It is shallow water though. The sailfish does have radar, so it's just a +1. Or no, it's a straight roll. +1 for congregating risk, -1 for transit event or transit side up. So only a 9 will matter. Okay, they make it there. That means we can bring one of these back. I think we'd rather, yeah, so we're gonna have the whale skip their search and contact. So they will go transit side and voluntarily RTB. Through the Marianas over to the Marshall Islands, and then they will have to roll to see if they can get in there or not. But first, let's see, the whale does have radar, I believe, yes. But they do have the congregating risk for leaving that area. So again, just a 9 will be potential issue. They're fine. I hope we can roll that well for their damage. So now let's see what their damage is. Nope. They will have to move on. And we don't have to worry about congregating. Well, we do for leaving, I guess, but no worse than what it is going in to the East China Sea. So I'm okay with trying to bring back the, we've got to send another one out. So let's send the Seawolf out. They also have radar. So they will go through the Marianas up to the East China Sea. And the +1 for congregating risk negates the -1 for transit side. So they're looking to not roll a 9. And they don't. And then we'll try to send the Steelhead. He will skip search and contact. Voluntarily RTB. Again, only a 9 will matter for transit event check. And then he'll roll for his damage. And it is also not superficial, so he can't go in there. All right, we're down to 5 subs now in the East China Sea. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the spare. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've only got 5 in the Fulton right now, so these 2 can now fit. So they'll have congregating risk from both areas, but they're not cumulative. It's just whichever one is the worst. So it's only going to be a +1, -1 for transit side. This will be the governing op area. So only a 9. And make it and then we can do the same thing with the Sculpin. I guess I should have checked, which one was that? The Skipjack. Did they have radar? They do. And then who was this again? Sculpin. Sculpin also has radar, so no worries with the shallow water. And again, only a 9 will matter. And they make it. They go to the Fulton's broom box. Okay, that cleared that area up. So, like I said, I think we'll just have the yeah, you know what? We might as well send them up there. Nobody else is going to be able to make it there this turn. So we'll send the Snapper up there to the Yellow Sea. +1 for transit event. Snapper does have radar, so the shallow water won't matter. So 8 or 9 is what we don't want to see. And then search and contact. 0-4. That's not going to be anything. So their B rating didn't find any contacts. They need a 6 or less. Got it. Let's put them underneath since they're not spotted. Okay. That's all we can get into there this turn. So I think next, let's take care of the Sea of Japan. So the jack, search and contact, 07. Just missed finding a loner. 0, but 7's not a red box. So they are A rating, didn't find anything. They need a 7 or less. Got it. The harder, search and contact, 1, 2, or 2, 1, sorry. So that's going to be sparse, small convoy, 2, 1. Okay, the harder does have radar, but it's not going to help in this instance. So we're just going to set up here in column A, and we're just going to go for it and go aggressive right off the rip here. Okay, like that. Don't like that. Alrighty. Oh good, a little baby one. Akakazi. And our auxiliary. This is the Goyo Maru. Okay, let's make something happen here. We haven't, I think we managed to damage something, but that's been about it so far. Zero plus 2. Don't like either of those. Minus 1. Well, they are all -1 because we're aggressive. So this is actually a minus 2. This is a minus 1, and that's a plus 1. So let's see what we're dealing with here. So this guy's a 0. But then he gets 1 from the ASW. So that's going to be a 6, which means we'd hit on a 7 or less. This one, he bumps him up to 3. Then this bumps him up another one, so 4. So that's a 3 to hit. 4 or less would do it there. If we went after this one, we can ignore the ASW. 6 minus 2 is 4. Then we're over a column, so he gets 1 back. 5. So that would be a 2 for the 2 hit number, and we would hit it on a 3 or less. With the added benefit of taking him out of the equation for the rest of the combat. You know what? I think we'll do that. Let's try. So we'll need a 3 or less to hit it. There we go. A 2, however, will only damage it. But that does reduce their ASW to 0, so mission accomplished, I guess. All right, so that means there's no counterattack because we've got no revealed ASW now. So we'll stay aggressive. 3 more TDCs. Oh, come on. Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So this is a 1, that's a -1, that's a -1. So 1 and 1 is 2. So he's a 5 for the 2-hit number. Hit it on a 6. -1, so he's a 1. Did I do that right? 1 plus 1, yeah. So he was a 2. He's only a 1, so we can hit him on a 6. And then this one is now a 5 because he's damaged. -1 for the TDC makes it a 4, but going over a column brings it back up to a 5. So that would be a 2 or less. If we were to do a split shot here, we're looking at, we would want to send 4 here and 3 here, so that would end up making them equal. So if we send 4 here, that's 3 less than we were originally going to send, which brings us down to a 2. Which means we'd hit on a 3 or less. And then same thing here. We'd be sending 4 less. So this would also be a 2, hit on a 3 or less. Yeah, let's try it. We'll do the merchant first. Need a 3 or less. Nope. And then the oiler, 3 or less. Nope. Wow. Just can't catch a break here. Again, no counterattack. A rating, we went aggressive, so we need a 5 or less. Got it. And the hoe. And contact 4-0. It's going to be a low density small convoy. 2, 2, and 1. All right, the hoe has radar as well. So as long as we don't go aggressive, we can take advantage of that. Let's set up here. We'll go standard attack posture and start flipping. Okay. Unflip that one. Ooh, not good. The Onami. So it's got 5 ASW. Make an immediate, well, first, almost forgot again. We get to attempt to crash dive on a 0. Nope. And they get to roll on the diligent escort attack. Yikes. I think they just sunk us. They sure did. That is 3 subs sunk now with not a single ship sunk. terrible. What were these? Merchant. We knew what that one was. Oh boy. So another one for our sunk subs pile. And we are now up to 30 subs lost. Wow, wow, wow. Well, I guess next, let's go over here to the Coral Islands. We'll take care of our one sub that's out on patrol up here. Search and contact. 4 and 5. It's going to be a sparse, large convoy. 1, 2, 1, 1. All right. Well, this looks like another nice setup, but so did the last one. S-35 has no radar, 2 tactical rating. I do not trust those red balls in column B. I'm going to try column C and see what we got here and over in D. So we'll go standard attack posture. Nice. Okay. The Akashi. Let's see what we do with them. If we use their piece or if they have an IJN equivalent. Akashi, use the SW set unit. All right. So we're going to get 2. They each have 1/2 ASW, unfortunately. We can get one of them down here at least. And maybe the other one in the second round. Let's find out. Maybe it'll be one of our lowly S boats that gets the first kill for August. First kill for our side anyway. They've had a bunch. All right, well, it's gonna be this one. That's he's a 2, plus he gets 1 from the ASW, makes 3, -1 for the TDC. So we need a 1 or less to hit him. Nope. Not the way we're rolling. Counterattack's going to be 1 + 1 red box plus 3 for the war period makes 5. We only have 1 defense, so they are on the 3 to 4 row. Oh, man. 8 on the 3 to 4 row is damaged. Well, you know what, boys and girls? We are not going to push our luck, and we are just going to get out of here. D rating damaged. We need a 2 or less. Probably for the best. All right, well, let's see what the haddock and the kingfish can do in the Empire Pacific. Search and contact. Huh. Well, sub versus sub. Just clear it off of here. All right. Let's refresh ourselves on this procedure. Make a die roll, -1 DRM if the sub is spotted, -1 if it's damaged, +1 if it has radar. The haddock does have radar. And if we get a 0 to 2, so in our case, if we get a 0 to 1, the enemy has spotted us first. Good. All right, so we will be the attacker. Consult the enemy submarine table to determine which enemy submarine pieces are available based on date and op area. Randomly draw one. So we have, here's our submarine table. German and Italians can only be found in the Java Sea, South China Sea 2, or those two over in the Indian Ocean. So we won't be dealing with any of those. We sunk one of the Japanese subs already. Let's see who we have to deal with. I did find out this I-400. That was a big mystery. I wrote it in on the, didn't write it on the player aid yet, but I wrote it in on the scenario book. They are actually available starting in, I think it was February of 44. I know it's different than what, it's earlier than what the counter says, according to Brian Miller. But I don't think it's quite into 43 yet, so we won't be able to find that one. But let's see who we do possibly have. These are all 44s, so we can't find them yet. This is a 41, 43. Okay, so we got these four. I think one of them has been withdrawn already. The L4 class. So the RO63 is not available. So we've got between these three. So we'll roll our D4. If it's a 4, we'll roll it again. It's a 2, so it's going to be the I-183 as our target. Put it right there. And about to run out of battery here. Let's see. We draw and reveal a TDC marker. It's a 0. So we've got our attack rating, super skipper value. We're not in shallow water, not in a tropical storm. Mark 14, torpedo value. So basically our attack is 7. They get their defense rating, the TDC marker, and any super skipper value. So we're a 7, they're a 2. We need a 5 or less to hit. And then if we do hit, we roll on the 1 to 4 row of the attack results table. But we get a -1 DRM for US or British submarine. So we need a 5 or less. Get D4 out of there. Nope. And then it's just a single attack round, no counter attack, so that is over. endurance check for A rating is going to be a 6 or less. And we got it. So we're going to stop there and we'll pick it back up with the kingfish when we come back. All right, so search and contact roll for the kingfish. 8 and 3. It's going to be moderate density, small convoy. 2311. Okay, kingfish does have radar. I guess we'll try column B. And let's go cautious. Okay, unflip that. And let's try this one. Okay. So our light cruiser is the Agano. And our auxiliary is the Nagoya Maru. Okay, 4 TDC markers. Yeah, I think we'll try this one. -1, 0, -2. Okay, good. And -2. All right, so if we go after this auxiliary, we're looking at 7 minus 3 is 4. Add back in 2 to make 6. And if we went over here, it'd be 7 minus 4 is 3. -1 for going over a column. Add back in 2 makes 4. So we went cautious, so split shot's not really going to be feasible here. I think we'll just go after the easier shot on the auxiliary. So we need a 6 or less. There we go, finally. 2 and 7. 7's definitely gonna sink a 7,000-ton ship. So we finally got one. The kingfish. The AX Nagoya. Maru, 7,000 tons. So off they go to the pile of shame. And one ship rolls us up here. And what did I say it was? 7,000 tons. Put this to 9. So we're at 320 for ships. Just 130 to go for our next torpedo check. And then 1,369,000 tons. All right, there is no counterattack. And I think, let's see, I mean, no matter which way we go, we're going to end up having to flip that destroyer back over. So, kind of like to see what's over there in column D. So I'm thinking we slide over here. We'll stay cautious. Then we got to flip all three of these over, so we know what that one is. Ooh, airplane. And another destroyer. Great. Just great. All right, for column B, we've got the Fumisuki. And for column D, the Michishio. Or Michishio. All right. We got what, four and a half, so 5 showing. Focus better. There we go. We're going to need a lot of help here from the TDC. Didn't get it. Do we even have a shot? Let's see. 7 minus 4 is 3. That's going to be a +1 TDC because we're in the reattack round. So we're at 3. We got 5 for the ASW after we round up. So that's -2. Adding back, or another -1 or -1 from the TDC, -3. So yeah, we got no shot. This one's going to be even worse, and that's even worse than that. So they'll get to counterattack us with, what did I say, 5. We got 1 red box, so that's 6. 3 more makes 9. Subtract our 4 defense. They're on the 5 to 6 row. +1 for reattack, but -1 for cautious. So no modifier, 5 to 6. So 1's not going to do anything to us. For the endurance check, A rating, so we need a 6 or less. Got it. Alrighty. What's next? That's pretty much everything up north there. Those 2 are still coming out on transit, so we just got these down here. Let's see what we can do with our ultra areas. Oops. Almost tempted. I kind of want to get that Belau up there around Japan where there's better hunting grounds rather than pulling them back away from it to take advantage of these ultra areas. So yeah, why don't we do that? I'm going to send the Palau up to the East China Sea, and they do have radar, so the shallow water isn't a factor, so it's just going to be 9 for the transit event check that we want to avoid. And then search and contact 40. That's going to be sparse small convoy. So 2 and 1. All right, pretty obvious what we're doing here. Column A. This one zigged away. Radar's not going to help us. We're just going to go aggressive right out of the chute. All right. So we need an auxiliary. Actually, no, ATs don't get replaced. What am I thinking? I think I might have done that by mistake when we had that one before. I think we had that one before. Yeah, only AOs and APs get replaced, so that stays the way it is. Okay, so get that one down, then we won't have to worry about any counterattack or ASW for the second attack round. We can get them. Well, not really any reason to go 2 for 1 here, I don't think. Well, guess we won't. I mean, we could, but it's not going to be a very good shot. This is, so we got 7. -1 is 6. We lose 1 for ASW, makes 5. This is actually a -2 TDC, so that adds 2 back. So our 2-hit number is a 7. And with our DRM, we'll actually hit on an 8 or less. And we roll a 9. Of course we do. Counterattack, 1 + 1 is 2, plus another 3 makes 5. We're in shallow waters, so we only get to subtract 4 for our defense. 1 to 2 row with a +1 for aggressive. 8. Probably gonna get spotted. Yep. All right, staying aggressive, staying here. Can't believe missed on an 8 or less. +2 this time, +1. Well, looks like we go after the AT this time. So that's going to actually be a -1 with both of our modifiers for reattack round and aggressive posture. So we've got 7, -2 defense makes 5, -1 for the ASW makes 4. And then we add 1 back in for the TDC. Our target number is a 5. We'll hit on a 6 or less. Got it. 7 is more than enough. 6,000 tons. Below. Get some AT 6,000 ton. ship. 6,000 tons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move this up another 10. And no counterattack now since we took out the ASW. For our endurance check, we're A rating, but we went aggressive, so we need a 5 or less. Yes. All right, now let's see for these ultra areas. I think we'll have the pike come over into the South Philippine Sea. And then we've got just these 3 here to send over to the Marianas. So let's just start here with the spearfish. Search and contact roll with a +1. 7 and 8. That's going to be a low density task force with an extra ship for each column, so 2, 3, 3, 4. All right, spearfish does have radar. A little disappointed with these no solutions over here, zigged away, and bad angle. Because even before I drew the counters, I was thinking I was going to want to set up over here in column C or D, which we're still going to do. There's just less choices now. I think we'll set up in C and go standard attack posture. Let's see what these 2 are first. Oh no. Of course. It is the Hatsukaze. So he's a 5. We attempt to crash dive. We can actually crash dive on a 1 or 0. Nope. And then they get to roll for their escort counterattack. A 2 is nothing. No modifiers for that. All right. How about this one? Of course. We'll unflip that. I think we'll go here, here, and we got to do one more. So I'm thinking this one. Of course. All right. Well, we need an auxiliary. At least we can slide over here and get away from, we won't get away from the airplane, but we can at least get away from the diligent escort. It's going to be the Goyo Maru. We go here, we go here, and then I think we go here and here. +3, +2, okay. -1 and -1. Well, whatever this is, this will be one less. So let's see what we can do. 6 minus 1 is 5. Minus 6 for the ASW after we round up. That's -1. And then we add 1 back in for the TDC. So we can hit this on a 0, which means we can't hit that one. Nope. Counterattack of 6 plus 1 red box makes 7. 3 for the war period makes 10. We subtract our 3 defense. Puts us on the 7 row with no modifier. 3. I think we're okay there. Nope, not quite. Spotted. Could have been a lot worse. All right, so we slide over. And now we're going to have to flip those two at least. I think we switch to cautious here. Yeah. So we got to flip 3. Okay, now I think, let's see how this unflip works for the re-attack round. Because if we unflip it, but then there's not enough rising suns, do we have to flip it anyway? Or are we allowed to bypass that once we've flipped it and then unflipped it? Let's see. Unflip any one Japanese unit unless it is a combat event, diligent escort, or an aircraft. The choice to unflip must be made immediately. If a unit is unflipped, another unit must be revealed in its place. If no other units are available to be revealed, a unit may not be unflipped. It doesn't really say how the re-attack affects that. Let me see if there's anything in the re-attack round. Ships with Rising Sun battle flag must be revealed first. Only when all Rising Sun flags have been revealed may a red ball flag be turned over. If equipped with radar, you may not unflip a Japanese unit that was revealed in the first attack round. Yeah, I mean, it looks like we're still going to have to reveal all the Rising Suns first, so it doesn't make any sense to unflip that one, since we just have to turn right around and flip it again anyway. So then this one, okay, and now we will be able to unflip because there'll be something else we can choose in its place, but we don't need to. Good. All right, that's not too bad, depending on what this ends up being. Hopefully it's a half. One, I'll take it. The Hibiki. And then our light cruiser. Kashi. All right. So just 1.5 for the ASW. I think we can deal with that. Not better than 5.5. We've got 4 good targets here. like that. That's not that great. Neither is that. And okay. So let's see. See what our choices are here. These are going to be our two easiest ones to hit. If we go after the merchant, it's 6 minus 1 is 5. Minus 2 for ASW puts us at 3. Going over a column brings us down to 2. This is actually a minus 3 TDC though, so that brings us back up to 5. This one would be 6 minus 2 is 4, minus another 2 is 2, minus 1 is 1, and then that's a negative 1 TDC. So that would bring us back up to a 2. So I think we just go after the easy one, even though it's only 1,000 tons. This one would be 6 minus 2 is 4, minus 2 is 2, and then that's a TDC of 1. So that would be a 1 or less to hit this one. This would be the same. So 1 or less to hit either of those. So I say we go after the little baby merchant. 5 or less. Got it. Spearfish. 1,000 ton merchant. One more ship, another 1,000 tons, puts us at 322 and 1,376,000 tons. For the counterattack, they've just got 2 now, plus a red box makes 3, another 3 makes 6. We subtract our 3 defense. They will be on the 3 to 4 row, plus 1 for re-attack, but minus 1 for cautious. 6 on the 3 to 4 row. Spotted again, but we're already spotted. Well, I guess they had a plus 1 for spotted, now that I say that. So actually a 7, which is still just spotted. And B, excuse me, B rating with no modifiers, so we need a 5 or less. Nope. Okay, next up is the sturgeon. Search and contact with a +1. 10-7. It's going to be a high density, large convoy. 3 extra ship in each as well, so 4-4-3-2. All right, this one is zigged away. Sturgeon has radar, 4 tactical rating. Let's start in column B. Standard attack posture, I think. Just try all these red balls. Okay, that one again. I'll unflip that one. All right, what do we pick for our 4th now? Let's try this one. right. One destroyer. Good. Namikaze. I'll go ahead and target that destroyer just on the off chance that we could get a good shot on him and take him out of the picture. But with only a 5 attack, it's going to be pretty tough. Alright, looks like we'll have at least one good option. We go after the merchant here, 2,000 ton. We've got 5 minus 1 is 4. Minus 1 for ASW, minus 1 for going over a column. Add back 2. That's a 4 or less to hit that one. If we go after the AT, it'd be 5 minus 3 is 2. Minus 1 for the ASW. And then add 1 back in for the TDC. So he'd be at 2 or less. But it would get that ASW out of the way. If we target this one, we'd ignore his his ASW value, but we still got 1 from that one, so it wouldn't make that much difference. And we'd be looking at, yeah, because he's a 6, then plus 1 is a 7. Minus 1 puts him back to 6. We can't hit him. So those are our choices. I think we go after the merchant. 4 or less. One and 1. It is enough to damage it. For counterattack, we've got those in the wrong cup. Counterattack, we've got 1 plus 1 red box plus 3 for the war period makes 5 minus our 2 defense puts them on the 3 to 4 row with no modifiers. 1 is nothing. Don't even need to look. All right. So I really want to go after this one, but I think we're going to have to. So we got a lot of rising suns between the 3 columns we can reach now. So we slide over here. We go cautious, that way we don't have to flip that one. We know it's a destroyer. But we're not going to be able to unflip anything because we got to flip all 3 of these rising suns. So let's see what we get. Oh, another AT. Destroyer. And a plane. Wow. Yeah, this is going to be rough. Rough. We got a couple of those ATs in the mix this time. I think that's the first time we've seen those. All right, this is the Minasuki. Those don't get replaced. So yeah, we're looking at those add up to 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. So we got 5 ASW. So just the ASW is taking our full attack value away. At least this now has 0 defense because it's damaged. So whatever, we need a 0 or less on the TDC to even have a shot at it. We are going to get -1 to these though for the reattack round. So I think we go here, 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 and here. Yep, +1 is just barely going to make it possible to hit, but only on a 0, I think. Yeah, the 5 ASW basically means we're at 0 attack if we, and then consider having no ASW. So this is a 0 defense. So we could hit that on a 0. This one we'd be at 0, and that doesn't get modified any further. So he's a -1. So we can hit this one on a 1, we can hit this one on a 0. And that's it. I say we go after the undamaged one. Need a 1 or less. Nope. And now this counterattack. Oh boy. What did we say we were at? 2, 3, 4.5. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. -2 defense. So they're on the 7 row. With +1 for reattack, but -1 for cautious. So straight roll on the 7. 3 is only spotted, I believe. Had that earlier. For endurance check, B rating, we need a 5 or less. Got it. All right, then we're going to bring the pike over. There is a path through there from the South China Sea too. So shallow water he's leaving, but the pike does have radar, so that's not a factor. So just a 9 will matter here. So the transit check, ooh, close. Search and contact with a +1. 10-2, high density, small convoy. With an extra ship, so 433. Alrighty. Zigged away. This is a tough choice. I kind of like the idea of starting over in column C, and then if things kind of turn hairy, we could slide over to column D to not have to flip anything else. But these could very well be diligent escorts lurking under there. Column A is a bit safer, supposedly. No diligent escorts, at least. But then we're faced with having to only flip Rising Sun flags in the reattack round. Only got a 4 attack rating. Well, we've only got 2 tactical rating too, so actually we could go here and go standard. We just flip the 2, and then next round we could slide over to D and only have to flip that 1, or even if we stayed here we just go cautious and only have to flip 1. So yeah, let's try that. So standard attack posture. actually, before I did that. The Pike does have radar, so I'm going to unflip this one. And flip this one in its place. And then our second one will be this. That's a destroyer anyway. The Oite. I don't know if we've seen that one yet. All right, 2 TDCs. Might as well try to take that destroyer out if we get a nice -3 or something. Nope. All right, so this guy's effectively a 0. They've got 1 ASW against my 4, so it'll be a 3 or less to hit that. Nope. Needed them flip-flopped. Counterattack, they got 1 plus 1 is 2, plus another 3 is 5. We've got 2 defense, so they're on the 3 to 4 row. And we were standard, so no modifiers. Ooh, don't like that. Spotted us. All right, now we go cautious. And we just flip this one. Grr. Unflip this one. Didn't matter. Well, at least it's another small one. The Asakaze. That brings them up to 2 after we round it up. So, well, we need our TDCs. So we go here and here. That's a -2, that's a +1. 4 minus 2 is 2. -2 is 0. +1, or minus another 1, means we can't hit the armed merchant. This one might be possible if he only has a defensive 1. That'd be 4 minus 1 is 3, -1 for going over a column, -2 for the ASW, and then that's a -2 TDC, brings it up to 2. So we can hit this on a 2 or less if it only has 1 defense. Let's find out. Nope. So no shot, but it's the re-attack round, so they do get to counterattack. No Kazi. Needed him to be another half. Wouldn't have contributed any additional. All right, so they're at 1, 2.5 makes 3. 1 red box, 3 for the war period, takes us to 7. Minus our 2 defense, puts us on the 5 to 6 row. +1 for reattack, -1 for cautious, +1 for spotted. So a net +1 on the 5 to 6 row. It's going to be a 3, which is just nothing. Endurance check, C rating. We need a 4 or less. Got it. We're getting to stay out for the most part. Looks like next is our other ultra area. Marianas. Unless we wanted to bring another one. How many we got here now? 1, 2, 3. We got 3 in the South Philippine Sea. It's not really that much different. 3, 1. Oh, it's exactly the same actually. So, yep. Let's just send these over here. Silver sides. So transit event only on a 9. Search and contact with a +1. 6 and 1. It's going to be that sparse small convoy. Extra ship in each. 3 and 2. All right, no radar for the silver sides yet. The problem we're having is our weaker subs are finding the larger contacts and our stronger subs are finding the small contacts. But let's see what we can do with what we got. Column B. Standard posture. So we can unflip if we find something undesirable. All right, so far so good. And we'll unflip that one. It's a DD. In case my finger was obstructing it. There we go. All right, this is good because we can slide over to C for the reattack and not have to flip that destroyer over. So we need a light cruiser and an auxiliary. Light cruiser. It's the Nagara. Our auxiliary. The Taigei. All right, silver sides. We've got someone in the audience rooting for you, so let's see if we can make them proud. Do have the off chance for a super skipper here. If we could get these 3 or these 3 or these 3. 1 plus 2. Come on. Oh, really? That's horrendous. Horrendous. Well, this will be our easiest target. So we'd be at a 7. He's a 2, but then he's over a column, so basically he's a 3. So 4 or less to hit the gunboat. Let's try it. Hey, we got it. 4 for a 1,000-ton ship. We'll sink it. So Silver Sides scores a kill. GB 1T. To there. So one more ship, another 1,000 tons. And we do have a small counterattack here. So I say that and watch them roll a 9 and damage us. Half rounds up to 1. We got 1 red box, so that's 2. 3 more makes 5. We got 4 defense, so they're on the 1 to 2 row with no modifier. And it's a 3. Nothing there. Sometimes that die comes right where there's a, if I have the camera here, there's a little camera icon on my screen that covers it up. So that's why sometimes I gotta cock it out of the way to see what it is. All right, so we will, as we planned on doing, slide over to column C. We'll switch to aggressive posture. We don't have to flip anything else. And like I said, if we can get both of these two, we'll get a super skipper. So we need some nice negative TDCs here. Okay, that's good. Oh, and that's great. All right. So let's figure out the individual shots first. This is a -4, and that's a -3 because we're aggressive and it's a re-attack round. So 7 minus 3 is 4, -1 for the ASW. Makes 3, -1 for going over a column, and then add back in 4. Gives us a 6. For the 2-hit number, we'd actually hit it on a 7 or less. And this one would be 7 minus 4 is 3, -1 for the ASW, -1 for going over a column. Puts us at 1, and then we add 3 back in. So that one's a 2-hit number of 4. So if we want to go for the super skipper, we'll need to do a split shot. Which means we'd want to do probably we can't get them 2 apart because it's an odd number. So if we did 4 to here and 3 to here, so we'd be sending 3 less to this one, which brings it down to a 1. Not liking this so far. And we'd be sending 4 less to here, which brings it down to a 2. Make sure we got that right. 4 minus 4 is 0. No, wait. Figure those first ones out right. If we set 4 here, that'd be 4 minus 4 is 0. Minus 1 for going over a column. But then our TD, oh, minus 1 for the ASW. That's why, right? I was forgetting that. So that's -2. And then we add 3 back. So yeah, it'd be a 1 for the 2 hit here, a 2 for the 2 hit here. So we need a 2 for this one and a 3 for this one. I don't really like that. So I think what where were we at? This was a 6 and this was a 4, right? So I think we go after this one because even though it's less tonnage, it's quite a bit easier to hit and it would mean no counterattack. So I think that makes the most sense. So we need a 7 or less. And 6,000 tons isn't anything to sneeze at. I got an 8. All right, so counterattack is 1 plus 1 red box is 2. 3 for the war period makes 5, minus our 4 defense, still on the 1 to 2 row. This time +1 for reattack, +1 for aggressive. So +2. 5 on the 1 to 2 row is nothing. And A rating, we did go aggressive, so we need a 5 or less. Got it. Good job, Silver Sides. All right, we'll move the tuna over. Transit events only on a 9. Close. +1 for search and contact. 3 and 8. Is that good enough? It is not. It's not good enough for a loner either. So the tuna finds nothing. B rating, they need a 6 or less. Ooh, just missed it. Pompano. Transit event only on a 9. Search and contact with a +1. 8 and 3. It's going to be moderate density, small convoy. Extra ship makes 432. Okay, this one is too close. Pompano does have radar. We're going to go column A, and we will go standard attack posture. Unflip that. All right. I like it. Nothing to replace. Three TDC markers. Some nice low defense targets for the slowly P3 boat. Not much help from the TDCs though. So it looks like we're going after this one. He's a 1, we're a 4. No ASW. So we need a 3 or less. didn't get it. I think we stay here or slide over. I think we stay here. Let's stay. Worried about flipping that one over. I think we just go cautious. We've got plenty of targets out already. Let's just flip over the minimum we have to. Actually, we already flipped that one, right? That was a destroyer. We unflipped it. Yeah, we definitely wanted to go cautious. So, yeah, it's not going to do any good to unflip that. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Our happy hunting ground didn't last very long. Ushio shows up. And his buddy the Uzuki. Now we've got 2.5 ASW to contend with. All right, looks like this one. It's more tonnage, but it's going to be a tougher shot because it's over a column. This has an additional -1 to it, so that's a 0. So we're just dealing with the ASW, which rounds up to a 3. So we need a 1 or less to hit. Nope. So 2.5 rounds up to 3. We got 1 red box makes 4. 3 more makes 7. We've got 2 defense. So they're going to be on the 5 to 6 row with a +1 for reattack, -1 for cautious. 4 on the 5 to 6 row. Spotted. C rating, need a 4 or less. Got it. And that, my friends, was our last sub on patrol. Put them underneath. So we just have these 2 that were outbound transit out of Pearl Harbor last turn, and they're going to go up into the East China Sea. So the first one won't have to neither one of them have radar. So the first one won't have to do a congregating risk. There's only 3 there and 3 there, but the second one will. So let's send the halibut first. So +1 for shallow waters, and -1 for transit event side or transit side. So only a 9. And then this one will be the same, but then he's gonna patrol their next turn. And then this one will be the same, except now another +1 from congregating risk, so an 8 or 9. Safe. And they will patrol their next turn. All right, let's get these subs out of ports. These two will go out of Dutch Harbor over to the Coral Islands. No transit event check needed because they're on transit side and there's only one red box. Out of Pearl Harbor, we just have one. Let's do our, it's a Balau class too, so I think we want to have him go. We got 2 there in the North Pacific. I think we'll send him up into the North Pacific. That's the Seahorse. And yeah, I'll leave him on transit side. All right, coming out of Fremantle, we got quite a pile there, so let me get them over here. Figure out what we want to do with them. There's 4. There's 2 T's, a new S2, and a Gatto. I think we just send all 4 up to the South China Sea too. We're already full over here. And there's only 1 here, so they're going to end up here. This will be our governing op area. It is shallow, so if any of them don't have radar, we'll have to roll for a transit event check. The Sea Raven does have radar, so they can make it there without incident. The Pompon also has radar, so same for them. The Grayling does not have radar, and the Gar does not have radar, so they'll each have to do a roll and try to avoid getting a 9. So the Grayling made it, and the Gar also made it. All right, and we've got a few still coming out from our submarine tenders. We've got 2 coming out of the Sperry, the Lapon and the Porpoise. Let's see where we want them to go. I think we want the Lapon to go up, back up into the Sea of Japan. So we'll go through the Coral Islands to there. -1 for transit side, +2 for entering the Sea of Japan. So a 7, 8, or 9 is what they want to avoid. Ooh, they got a 9. 6 and 0, they're safe. 0 is always safe, no matter what. Okay. And then the Porpoise, I think we will send them. They're a little P-boat, 422. I guess we can have them try their luck here in the Empire Pacific. So they will go through these 2 areas on transit side, so no roll required. Flip them to patrol side. And that just leaves these two coming out of the Fulton. The Swordfish and the Plunger. New S2 and a P3. I think we'll send them over here to the North Philippine Sea. So they're going to come through the Marianas to there. Only one red box in each. No congregating risk along the way, so they won't need to roll anything. And that's going to do it for the operations segment. For our intern segment, we have no weather to deal with. Remove spotted markers. Remove our ultra markers first. All right, so we got some spotted markers I know around here. None there, none there. Got one right here. 6 or less. Yes. And looks like another one right under it. That was the pike. Sturgeon has to keep theirs. How about the spearfish? Yes, they keep theirs as well. Got one over here. They lose it. That was the finback. Wasn't he damaged? Pretty sure that was a damage marker on him. That was why he had to come back, not a spotted. I'm gonna double check that, but it was because the finback and the grouper were only 2 early gatos still out, and they had to come back because they were damaged. That must have got flipped when I put the leg on it, leg of my tripod over there or something. I'll confirm that, but I'm 99% sure that that's supposed to be a damage marker. All right, the pompano has a spotted marker. They lose theirs. Got the Blau. Keeps it. No more in that stack. Got one up here. The albacore. Loses it. None in the Sea of Japan, none in the Empire Pacific. What we got here? Those are both damaged. This is damaged. That's just RTB. So that looks like it for spotted markers. And we'll advance the date going into week 2 of August. Wrapping up August, it was a pretty poor month. We only sank 4 ships and we lost 3 subs. Total of 15,000 tons. which puts us at 323 for ships sunk and 1,377,000 tons. 30 subs lost now. So that's going to wrap it up for week 1 of August. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.